Dear children, let us discuss the exercise from Advent of the Europeans, Unit 1. Hope you were able to do it. The first main question is about you learning the different words, the spelling, and the pronunciation. Now let's move on to the second main question. Answer the following. Name the Europeans who came to trade in India. The Europeans who came to trade in India were the Portuguese, the Dutch, the English, and the French. Next, who discovered the new sea route to India when? The new sea route to India was discovered by Vasco da Gama, a Portuguese sailor, in the year 1498 CE. Name 5 trading centers of the Portuguese in India. The Portuguese trading centers were Rio, Daman, Goa, Santhome, and Hooghly. Third main question, fill in the blanks. The first Portuguese governor in India was Almeida. Albuquerque captured Goa from the ruler of Bijapur in 1510 CE. The Dutch and the English, with stronger navy, defeated the Portuguese. The Portuguese were the last of the Europeans to leave India in 1961 CE. Hope you have got everything correct. Good morning, children. Welcome back to the second session of the Advent of the Europeans to India. In the last class, we learnt about the coming of the Portuguese to India and the different places where they established their trade centers. And later, they also lost their trading centers. And the reason for losing these centers were also discussed. The Portuguese had to be satisfied with Goa, Diu, and Daman, 3 places only. Now let us see who is the next European coming to India. The Dutch from Holland or Netherlands were the next to come. The Dutch were the second Western Europeans to come to India to trade. The government of Holland established the Dutch East India Company in the year 1602. It is the government which invested money on this trading company, which desired to come to India and other eastern countries in Asia. They knew that they were very, very rich. The idea of the Dutch to come was entirely different. They wanted trade and they were ready to establish themselves in India also. They were ready to fight among themselves, that is with the other Europeans, in case they put up a fight. And they were also ready to fight with the Indians to make them establish themselves in this great country, India, which was a tempting country for them for being very rich. Just as Zamorin welcomed the Portuguese, the ruler of Chandragiri on the eastern side granted permission to the Dutch to open their trading center at Pulicat. Pulicat became very important for the Dutch and it became their capital. Let's have a look at the map and see the trading centers established by the Dutch in India. The Dutch opened their trading centers at Surat, Cochin, Nagapatnam, Karaikal, Pulicat, Masulipattnam and Agra. Now you will understand, except Agra, all these trading centers are on the coastal region. Masulipattnam, the original name was Machilipatnam, a fishing place. Over a period, the name has become Masulipattnam. Now children, observe one point. Except the Portuguese, Surat was an important trading center for all the other Europeans. So whenever you are asked to write the trading centers of the Europeans other than the Portuguese, you can write Surat, because all these names are a little confusing for you. But you can be sure Surat is definitely a trading center for all the other Europeans. The Dutch and the Portuguese, they made use of the Indians in many ways. They used them in their army to fight for them, but they treated them very badly, very cruelly. They treated them very cruelly even in their trade. This is one of the main reasons for the Dutch and the Portuguese, though they were earlier to the English and the French, they could not survive in India for a long time. The Dutch were thoroughly defeated by the English in 1759 by the governor Robert Clive. Robert Clive became a governor of Bengal the next year, that is 1760. He was a very capable person who really paved the way for the English stay in India. The Dutch were defeated very badly that they had to pack up and go back. At least the Portuguese had 3 trading centers to themselves in India, but the Dutch could not retain even the capital, Pulicat. The desire of the Dutch to stay in India came to an end. They had to move to other eastern countries like Ceylon, Cambodia, Thailand, etc. The English were the third of the Western Europeans to come to India for trade. But remember children, these were the people who stayed in India for a long time. The English followed the Dutch to India. The rich merchants of England formed the East India Company. There were many such trading companies in England. They all approached the Queen Elizabeth, for granting permission for them to go to India and other eastern countries. But the Queen gave permission only to one company, and that is the East India Company of the merchants. She granted the charter in the year 1600 CE. Children, you have to remember this date, 1600 CE. Very important date. This is the year Queen Elizabeth of England granted the charter to the English East India Company. Charter means it's like a certificate giving permission for the trading company to go to India and other countries. Now the second question is, the English will have to obtain permission from the ruler of India to come to India and open their trading centers. So they sent Captain Hawkins to the court of Mughal ruler, Mughal emperor Jahangir. But before he could meet once again and obtain the permission, there were certain things happening from the side of the Portuguese. Children, you will remember that in the first lesson, first class, I spoke about the Arab merchants kidnapping Vasco da Gama's brother and other sailors. They wanted to hinder the progress of the Portuguese and stop their trade with the Indians. In the same way, the Portuguese did not want the English to come to India because they are going to have a tough competition with the English. Already they are having competition with the Dutch. So they played the tricky game and Captain Hawkins had to return to his mother country without getting permission. The English are known for their perseverance. They are not going to give it up easily. King James sent Sir Thomas Roe, an English ambassador, to visit the court of Jahangir. Sir Thomas Roe was able to meet Jahangir, convince him, and also obtain permission for the trade of the British in India and to open their trading center at Surat. Now, this permission was granted in the year 1615. Now, can you see Sir Thomas Roe meeting Emperor Jahangir? This is the Mughal court. The English opened their trading centers at Surat, Agra, Ahmedabad, Broj, Bombay, Madras, and Calcutta. Bombay was just a fishing village. You can understand what it is today. The change of name for Bombay is Mumbai. Madras has become Chennai. Calcutta has become Kolkata. The English East India Company was lucky in many ways. Point number one, that was the only company which obtained permission from the Queen to monopolize the eastern trade. Now coming to India, the Portuguese, the Dutch, later the French, they all paid tax to the local ruler. The East India Company or the English were lucky because Farooq Siara, the Mughal ruler, granted them dastak or dastakat. Dastak means permission to trade without paying tax. The English need not pay the tax in Agra, then in the province of Bengal, which was very rich and very vast. Bengal of those days included the present Bengal, Orissa, Bihar, a very big area. An area which is almost that of England if you look into the world map. The British did have difficulties. One, they had to fight the other Europeans. Another, especially at Surat, the Marathas would attack them. So it became necessary for them to seek the help from the local ruler, but the local ruler could not help them. This made the British take their own course of action. They built forts to protect themselves, their families, and their trading centers. So, you can understand why this happened to them. The British employed soldiers, they brought their own soldiers and also recruited Indians in their army. They stocked arms and ammunitions, and in no time the British army was considered as the strongest army in India. The other rulers, the native rulers, the Indian rulers, were really scared of the British army. Thus, the British established themselves at different parts of India. Calcutta became their capital. The reason was they acquired a few places in and around Calcutta, which we will be learning in the next lesson. The British came to India in the beginning of the 17th century, but they stayed till 1947 when India gained independence. Remember, children, it is the East India Company of rich merchants that came to India. So, when they occupied places, when they waged war, it is the rich merchants who were doing all this. It is not the Queen or the government of England. In no time, a large part of India came under their control, and there were other kings who were independent, but they were like puppets in the hands of the British. This really made the Indians feel sorry for their status, and at one time, at different parts of India, the soldiers, the citizens, the zamindars or the landlords, they all fought against the British. This is known as the First War of Indian Independence, and it happened in 1857. So till 1857, from 1757 they got a district near Calcutta, the 24 Parganas. From then they built their empire, and in 1857 when the Indians fought against them, it attracted the attention of the entire world. The Queen then was Victoria, she realized that the interests of the Indians were sacrificed for the growth of the East India Company. So the company which was ruling India till 1857, now it came under the rule of the Queen directly. India came under the direct rule of the British government. From 1858 onwards, when a large part of India is a subcontinent, when India came under the direct rule of the Queen and King of England were known as the Emperor and Empress. From then onwards, it is the rule of the government of England, which went on till 1947. In the next lesson, we will take up the coming of the French to India, the last of the Western Europeans who came to India. Let us recollect the important points. The Dutch government formed the East India Company in 1602 CE. The Dutch trading centers in India were Surat, Cochin, Nagapatnam, Karaikal, Pulicat, Machilipatnam or Masalipatnam, and Agra. The Dutch were completely defeated by the English in 1759 CE. Queen Elizabeth granted the charter to the English East India Company in 1600 CE. Sir Thomas Roe, English ambassador, obtained the permission to trade in Surat from the Mughal Emperor Jahangir in 1615 CE. The British obtained Dastak or Dastakat from Farooq Sierra, the Mughal ruler, to trade in Bengal province. Dastak or Dastakat was the license given to the British to conduct tax-free trade. The trading centers of the English in India were Surat, Ahmedabad, Broj, Agra, Bombay, Madras, and Calcutta. The English built forts, employed soldiers, stocked arms and ammunition. In a short time, they became a strong force in India. The capital of the Dutch in India was Dash. The Dutch East India Company was established in the year Dash. Dash, an English ambassador, obtained the trade permission from the Mughal Emperor Dash in the year Dash. Dastak was granted to the English traders by the Mughal ruler Dash. Answer the following. Name any 4 trading centers of the Dutch in India. Who granted the charter to the English East India Company? When? Name 4 trading centers of the English in India. When did the English leave India?